Hello everyone, and welcome to the Beverly Public Library's 24th Annual Teen Poetry Ceremony and Reading. My name is Megan Carrison and I'm the Teen Librarian at the library. Due to the current circumstances regarding the COVID-19 virus, we'll be doing things a little bit differently this year. We'll be sharing our readings virtually and announcing the winners at the end of the recording. The finalists you're about to hear from were chosen from over 500 entries from students from 15 different schools. The poems were judged blindly by a panel of accomplished local poets. The poets serving on this year's committee are Kevin Carey, Liz Champa, and Colleen Michaels. Kevin is the coordinator of creating writing at Salem State University, whose latest book of poetry, titled Set in Stone, was published just this month. Liz is a founder of the Winter Street Writers Group. Her work has been published in Boston Literary Magazine, Wilderness House Review, Prodigal's Chair, and 2 collections of poems. Colleen directs the writing studio at Montserrat College of the Art, and her poems have appeared in publications such as Barrel House and Cider Press Review. You can read more about each of them on the final page of the attached program. They were generous to donate many hours of their time to read through all the submissions and select these finalists. Having published poets perform the judging process makes this contest infinitely stronger, and we cannot thank them enough. I would also like to thank all the parents, teachers, and school librarians who encourage their students to enter, my colleague Joan Nelson, who donates the first place prize money in honor of her son Alec, and the Friends of the Beverly Public Library, who fund all the other prizes. Without further ado, let's move on to the poems. We'll be hearing from the poets in alphabetical order.
Why Can't I? By Turner Britz. I want to throw a brick through the window so bad. The bricks are right there. So is the window. The building's coming down soon. What's the problem? Can't I participate in the destruction of this place? I've known it a while, worked in it, slept in it, danced in it, made friends in it, said goodbyes in it. Now let me say goodbye to it. Let me bring it to the ground.
The space where bushes used to be. Swara Douglas. The roped-off patch in front of the theater is a strike-through, double lines through the space where bushes used to be. The ropes are a poor substitute for the missing bushes, too flimsy to support my weight. They wouldn't fill my shoes with green needles. The bushes framed core theater on warm days. They sat for portraits through 10th grade. I hadn't thought about them for a year, maybe more. Then suddenly we were watching their absence appear through the glass doors of the atelier. I want to roll the green needles between my fingers and smell their sharpness. I want to duck under the ropes and walk the length of the space where bushes used to be.
Hi, I'm Morgan, and my poem is Marching Band's Parade. I can tell you how it feels, but you'll never really know. In my mind, it turns with wheels. In my heart, it beats oftenly slow. In reality, it's racing, and I can't tell what's real. The pain that I'm facing never really heals. The memories, they haunt me, my anxiety, it spikes. It's like I'm watching myself through my neighborhood storefront, and out of nowhere are the airstrikes. The bombs come down in sections, like a marching band's parade. Never all at once, but always the same way. The voices wait for darkness till they whisper in my ear, grinning while they tarnish this strong musketeer. I want it all to stop, for it to go quiet once and for all, for my weight to finally drop through the tears that form my waterfall.
The Way by Annabel Judy. We listen to the wind, the rustling of trees, of crunching pebbles, of incessant insects and birds. We touch the ground, dirt, debris, silky grass. I ran my hands over it, combed through it like my little sister's hair. Inhale the air around me, the crisp, the heavy, the minty cold, the fragrant grass or trees or breath or salt water. I looked above, the sky changing moment to moment. Tangerine, copper, lilac, sealskin, wine dark and vast. Trees tower and bend, weaving, sculpting, and circling. Then those thickets, wildflowers delicate and fair, leaves like fingers on arms stretching out, rough brown bark like a rattlesnake skin.
The Shakes by Katharine Judy. I often pinch my fingers so I don't think of it. Whatever it is, I always thought, if I balanced my toes and feet fast enough, if I dug my nail into the blush skin of my thumb just enough, the image it made me see would drown beneath the misty murk of my mind. This process became accustomed to me, written into my nature like carvings on oak trees. I find my feet pulsing more these days, hands shaking, my mind showing me things I don't want to see or hear anymore. I want to mask myself from all these assumptions, should-have-beens, and embarrassments that bruise up. I crave a sense of relief from its edgings as I close my eyes, pinch my nose, cover my ears in an attempt But I found, like the weeping angels in my father's garden, it likes to strike even harder in the solitude, in the silence. As you listen to this now, the whisper returns in the form of a soft breath I feel down the shell of my ear. Muscles in my ankles shudder beneath cotton jeans and white socks. You don't see it though, and I don't see yours. Stealthily, it flows through our bloodstream. Blindfolded, it's fueling the voices we all hear in our heads. But we never know when each other hears these voices and what they say. With the shakes come shimmers over time though. The edgings that it carves will heal. Old scars of mine line the brain are a reminder of darker times I overcame. The anxiety that guides me will always be there, lurking in the shadows. It pulls the strings like puppeteers.
I'm Beatrix Karambis, and this is Ode to My Infancy. In you I hear the pecking of the bird I only saw once, but is the background music of my infancy. That ceaseless hammering that made you what you are today. Worn, warped, climbed on. In smaller days, my pinky used to trace the divots in your skin and dream of the magical bird that put them there. In fall, which was always, I climbed you and searched for apples I wasn't sure existed. I was told they weren't apples but crabs and ate them anyway. Chalky, bitter, stomachache-inducing, riddled with wormholes and mold spots, I gathered by the barrel and chucked them down to Maud to carry them inside. As I became storyteller, I plucked your finger, smoothed almost to perfection, and used it to bind my stories. With you as my past, my handprints of milkweed, smushed blueberry, wasp stings, bee stings, snake bites, mayonnaise, and dirt. With you as my future, and notebooks you are part of not yet full. I have yet to do what I have yet to write about. When you fall, will I fall too? Or is your passing merely the end of a stage of me? When you fall and decompose into the earth, are you gone? Or will you grow into a new tree from your seeds that's really not new at all?
Sahara by Renney. Ancient waves roll far and long, wrinkled full. Writhing, withering, and wasting away, above them keeps the clear blue rage watched, below them. Smothered horrors forgotten, but not lost. They sink deeper where they lay, shifting heaps, blow through boiled air plagued. By the sealess shores, life gone or rotten. Searing, scolding, spiteful, empty hands hold dirty scars and dried up rain from long lost eyes, the furies they sail, haunting old. The sand-covered holes, fading from view, whispers they dance, which blur earthing hazed. Coarse fingers into conforming dust, they slip and fall, consumed by the waste.
Navy Blue by Schiller. Thoughts form, words are made, but they are pulled back by the current. The waves clash inside their translucent beauty, unique, singular, alone. The words fight to escape, the water rough and choppy. The ocean calms, currents fade, waves melt into gentle giants, rhythmic as they roll, their beauty misunderstood.
My name is Liam Smith, and this is Cemetery. Stone-riddled home of the forlorn and long forgotten, a melancholy spire of time halted, just so to remember the fearless tomorrow, brought to a head by a fear of tomorrow. The long forgotten and forlorn cry not, for the passing of time and what's to come is trivialized by the stones at their head and the lacquer at their feet. A land so gilded by what's to come, you don't remember to not just think. The present is often forgotten, cast away by fear of what's to come and longing for what's behind. But all you fear once was or once will be, now.
The 10 p.m. News by me, Laura Swindell. Back to you, Ben. Shut down the government. Bees killed by pesticides. Accident on 495. Someone got shot. Gosh, it's too hot. Strikes and fists. A light miss. Ships and measles. A president unreasonable. No more plastic forks. Sluggish road work. Falling rocks. Small talk. Nothing new. Back to you. The Little Things by me, Laura Swindell. What are you but slightly crazy? The colors you match to each subject, red, math, science, blue, thinking of how to beautify a robot, teaching it how to live and how to wrap its head around dividing by zero. filling the dreams you've forgotten with tales of grandeur, because you are as extra as you are crazy, looking for the ducks during summer thunderstorms. What are people but slightly crazy, the little things that build like sentiment in the body of the mind and heart?
Thank you so much to our amazing poets. I'd now like to announce the winners of the high school division. Honorable mentions in no particular order. Laura Swindell for The Little Things and 10 p.m. News. Noah Schiller for Navy Blue. Liam Smith for Cemetery. Beatrix Karambis for Ode to My Infancy. Turner Britz for Why Can't I. Katharine Judy for The Shakes. Griffin Wells for Diecast Nissan. Miles Renney for Sahara. And Morgan Frazier for Marching Band's Parade. And in third place, Annabel Judy for The Way. In second place, Swara Douglas for The Space Where Bushes Used to Be. And in first place, Belle Leonard for Wakefield. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you again next year, this time in person.